Hello and welcome to an Energy Connects discussion ahead of Future Mobility Asia, which is going to take place in mid-May of this year. As Asia navigates its transition towards clean mobility, we will delve into critical topics surrounding the global energy transition, strategies for accelerating sustainable energy adoption, as well as the most pressing challenges in the region. I am very delighted to be joined with Dr. Jamil Masud, Partner and Director at Hagler Bailly Pakistan. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
We will start with our first question, which is going to be tackling your thoughts on the pace of and progress of the global energy transition, as well as Asia's role in the transition.
Sure. I believe that the first global stocktake of the Paris Agreement, which assesses the world's collective progress towards its climate goals, is taking place this year, which should provide an initial assessment of how far the world has moved in the direction of net zero emissions. But reaching that goal will require a complete transformation of how we cater to our daily needs and power the global economy. It's going to be inherently slow, painful, and chaotic. And there will be external factors that will also play a deterministic role in defining the pace forward. Advancements in technology and energy prices will continue to be the key factors, and the latter could work both ways. However, the continued decline of renewable energy prices, especially solar photovoltaics, will be central in accelerating the transition across much of the world. Individual governments and policies will need to be continuously aligned to facilitate the transition. But in the end, it will be the economics and the access to clean energy supplies that will dominate how quickly consumers and investors both respond and adapt. So it's going to be a gradual process, and we should know in a couple of years in terms of the pace of the progress that we're making towards that end.
What specific strategies do you believe are the most effective in accelerating the adoption of sustainable energy technologies and solutions for particularly the mobility sector?
Okay, as I mentioned, the cost and convenience of using a particular form of energy supply determines its ultimate adoption by consumers. Electricity fits those requirements very well, especially given its versatility in terms of end users. But we're seeing increasing utility tariffs in many countries, even with the growing penetration of cheaper renewable energy in the generation mix. So long-term national strategy to move to clean electricity generation sources will require addressing the escalating costs of overall power system operations, ensuring optimal maintenance and utilization of grid assets, and reducing power system losses, and the impact of ensuring sufficient operational reserves to back up variable wind and solar supplies. Utilities will also have to consider the disruptive impact of increasing distributed generation in the form of rooftop solar panels and electric vehicle charging. But the elephant in the room that can no longer be ignored, however, is the inevitability of developing countries representing the majority of the world's population increasing their per capita electricity consumption as the economies strive to achieve developed country status and standards of living. Ensuring that the bulk of this additional latent energy requirement comes largely from affordable yet low-emission sources will perhaps be the greatest challenge facing planners over the next several decades, but unfortunately one that is often overlooked.
As we all know, collaboration between stakeholders is often essential for driving significant change in the industry. Could you please elaborate on how Pakistan is collaborating and partnering with global stakeholders to advance clean energy initiatives in its mobility sector?
Well, as you know, Pakistan is the fifth largest country in the world in terms of population, with 64% of its citizens under the age of 30. So it's a fairly young demographic, which is therefore very well positioned for both rapid economic growth and for adapting to technological change. The electric vehicle industry in this country is still in a nascent stage, but with a growing number of auto manufacturers introducing new EV brands and models, both foreign and local, every year. The government of Pakistan has also set ambitious targets of achieving a 30% market share for EVs in new vehicle sales by 2030. On the commercial side, new government policies have been introduced that encourage the establishment of greenfield EV manufacturing facilities by global brands in Pakistan, with reduced taxes and duties on imported machinery and components. And then on the technical side, several multilateral and bilateral agencies, such as USAID, the United States Agency for International Development, the U.S. Department of Energy, and the World Bank, are supporting the development and marketing of locally produced e-mobility solutions and the deployment of electric mass transit bus systems in large cities in Pakistan. USAID in particular has recently financed the establishment of an e-mobility research and development center at a leading university in Lahore, which offers technical services to local manufacturers and startups that cannot afford yet to set up their own similar facilities in-house. USAID's Power Sector Improvement Activity, or PSIA, is also operating pilot programs to evaluate the use of electric three-wheelers for different urban and rural settings in the country as we speak.
As the landscape of mobility continues to evolve rapidly, what do you see as the most pressing challenges or obstacles that need to be addressed to ensure a successful transition towards cleaner and more sustainable energy systems in Asia as a continent?
As far as e-mobility is concerned, many of the obstacles to its rapid adoption are obvious and mundane. Designing conducive policies, for instance, regulatory regimes that promote the production and use of EVs, provisioning for convenient charging infrastructure, maintaining tariffs that don't penalize electricity use or subsidize fossil fuel use, adapting to reduced tax revenues from the fossil fuel supply chain as gasoline and diesel sales decline, and retooling local industry to manufacture EVs instead of internal combustion engine vehicles, to name a few. Failure to address any of these could potentially slow down the uptake of EVs in the country. At a higher level, though, as mentioned earlier, the shift to clean energy sources is ultimately dictated by two factors: economics and technological change. There are a large number of potential actions that countries can take that can help align these factors better towards achieving the goals of net zero emissions, as long as they're carefully identified and coherently designed and implemented. The capacities of individual governments or countries to do this is, however, limited, and is often constrained by political or resource compulsions, which makes progress unpredictable to an appreciable extent. However, recognizing and accepting these challenges is itself half the battle.
What are your thoughts on the Future Mobility Asia 2024, and what will Pakistan be showcasing at its pavilion?
Future Mobility Asia and its partner event, Future Energy Asia, are excellent opportunities for stakeholders from around the world to come together and exchange views, ideas, and technologies that are helping shape the global energy transition. It offers a unique gathering of government officials, policy and decision makers, technology providers and enablers, and innovative private entrepreneurs to present their perspectives and showcase solutions to a large number of international visitors and potential clients. In that sense, both as an information sharing platform as well as an exhibition of latest breakthrough products and concepts, FMA provides a very useful learning and networking opportunity for a very diverse audience. Pakistan has been participating in FEA over the previous 2 years, and this year, for the first time, we'll be taking part in FMA. With support from USAID, a large Pakistan pavilion is included in the exhibition area that will display e-mobility offerings from 3 different Pakistani companies, from a small new local e-bike brand, More Mobility, to electric 3 and 4-wheelers from more established manufacturers such as Sazgar Engineering and Yes Electromotive. We are very excited to display Pakistan both as a source as well as a large market for EV-related products. So we're happy to participate, and we're looking forward to a very exciting experience.
Dr. Jamil, thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you for your excellent insights. Before we go, just a quick reminder that Future Mobility Asia is going to be taking place between May 15 and May 17th in Bangkok, Thailand, and you can register at future-mobility.asia. A big thank you to everyone who is watching, and see you soon at another Energy Connects discussion. Until then, goodbye.